This is Doofy McButterscotch, and we have returned to Liam Neeson. Now, we just ended with The Haunting in the last video, so now we'll get to Nell, which is a movie that tackles things that not a lot of movies go for. It's, let's see, what's the best word? Socially challenged people. The most derogatory term is retard, but nobody likes using that term, and neither do I. It's not one of my common words that I use all the time, but you've seen a lot of movies about it, like Tom Hanks plays one, and so on. And it's mostly played by guys, but this is actually played by a woman who is whose name is Nell. And the actress who does that is Jodie Foster, and she does it pretty well. She's very convincing as a socially challenged person, and surprisingly no Oscar nominations here. I don't know why. I guess the Academy didn't ever watch this one or didn't think he was serious enough, but Liam Neeson is the psychiatrist who's trying to help out Nell, who has a mom who recently died and was a hermit who wasn't living in the real world, and then she gets brought into the real world, which causes a lot of problems, as you'd expect, having social disorders and never being in public. It creates a lot of problems, and there's a lot of uncomfortable scenes. And yeah, I mean, it was a decent movie. I mean, it's different from everything else you usually watch, but I thought it was decent. I mean, it's more entertaining than a lot of these other films that are all scattered around here. I sort of give it a thumbs up, kind of. It's kind of hard to support it, but it's alright. Rob Roy. Let's see, well, this one is about old Scotland Yard and whatnot, so it really fits with Liam Neeson because he's kind of a Scottish or Irish. He's one of those two. So back in the olden days, you got like your barbarian. I'm just gonna call it Scots because I don't want to say Scottish or Irish because that's just gonna take up too much time. So I'm just gonna say Scottish, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So there you go. So Liam Neeson was a barbarian Scottish guy, and then you got these prissy British people who are invading Scotland, and they're getting on Liam Neeson's case. They're pushing him around, they rape his wife, and a whole bunch of shit goes down that didn't really need to go down, and it just it ends about the way you'd expect. The guy who rapes his wife gets killed. Spoiler alert. Like a Scottish guy is gonna let someone like that live, or anyone let a person like that live. But it's pretty decent, but I like it. Rob Roy, pretty good. K-19, The Widowmaker. This one's mainly about Harrison Ford, who actually does a Russian accent, and I'm not the best at picking up whether someone does a good or bad accent, but from what I've been told, Harrison Ford doesn't do the best Russian accent. So yeah, if you've watched the movie or you plan on watching the movie, you see what you think. It wasn't too distracting from the main plot, but it's about submarines, and Harrison Ford is going along on this submarine adventure, and there's a lot of radiation shit that happens. A lot of people in the submarine die, and there's just a lot of drama that goes down, and it's one of the better submarine movies. I mean, Hunt for the Red October bored the crap out of me. I just didn't like that movie at all, but K-19, The Widowmaker, I actually really like that as a submarine movie. I definitely, out of all the submarine movies, I'd say this is my favorite, for what that's worth. And Michael Collins. I felt this one was pretty boring. It didn't really catch my interest. Michael Collins is played by Liam Neeson. As you can see, they do the title twice there. And It's probably, I think it's about the IRA, so this is probably Irish, and that Rob Roy probably is Irish. Got a cough. Yeah. Yeah, it's about the IRA, so it's a lot more recent than Rob Roy is. And it's about Michael Collins, who is basically against the IRA, and he's trying to make the world into a better place and get the IRA out. And I can't remember if he gets killed or he doesn't. I watched it a long time ago, and I wasn't really into it, so it kind of is a blur. Anyway, Liam Neeson. Well, I think he's a pretty cool dude. I watched 2 of the Taken films. I haven't watched the 3rd one yet. I don't think... Let's see. I think it's been released, but I just haven't watched it yet. I'm not the hugest fan. It's pretty decent, but Liam Neeson's an alright dude. He's, okay. I guess I give him a thumbs up. Not my favorite actor in the whole world, but, he's okay. Moving on to Paul Newman. Now, this character, I'm about on the same level with Paul Newman and Steve McQueen. I'm not a very big fan of him, and you'll see when I go through his videos. See, Road to Perdition did that. The Sting. Okay, haven't done that one. This is a pretty good movie for an old 70s thing. It's also got Robert Redford, and he actually stars with him in 2 movies, possibly even more, but it's only 2 on this list. Sting is all about Paul Newman and Robert Redford going on this one adventure to sting this rich guy and get a lot of money out of him. And they do it in a pretty good way. It's entertaining. They have some old-fashioned numbers in there, like the saloon music that plays in the background of westerns. They have a lot of that, so I liked it. Sting was pretty good. It held my interest. I didn't have to take many breaks from it. Message in a Bottle. I believe we did that already with Kevin Costner. I'm just going to go check again. Message in a... Yeah, we did. Okay. Towering Inferno. We did that. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Now, this is the other one where he stars with Robert Redford. And they play the main characters who are in the title. Butch Cassidy's played by Paul Newman. Sundance Kid is played by Robert Redford. And it's a really good western about 2 of the most well-known outlaws. And I was really into western outlaws back when I used to read books in school. I used to go to the library, try and find books about the West, and try to read about all the criminals, because I found them really interesting, and I just couldn't read enough about them, so I love the shit out of this movie. Even though the ending is a little bit off, but it's very artistic, and I like it a lot. And it looks like we're about running out of time here, so we're gonna have to wrap it up, and we'll have to do Paul Newman's other videos in the next one. So see you later.